Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato, and here we check out the latest and the greatest strategy games, specifically in the management, automation, city builder, and base building genres. Today, we're turning our attention to the final frontier. Space is, of course, home to a bunch of really great strategy games, and today I'm diving into the best upcoming management games that you'll be able to play amongst the stars. I've accumulated the best that the genre has to offer into one helpful list, with all the links down in the description below, and of course, timestamps in the video. Now, I've tried to steer clear of super mega grand strategy games, so the titles on this list should only consume tens of hours rather than hundreds of hours. Which of these great upcoming games are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's get into the games. The Crust is a management automation game primarily set on the moon. You start with nothing but a mission from your controllers on Earth. Build up an automated mining setup and transform the surface of the moon. Whilst you're on the moon, you'll be discovering new locations, some hidden secrets, and a whole bunch more. It all comes back to whether or not you have the skills to manage a lunar colony. Undertake savvy decision-making to get the best deals when trading with Earth. Make sure you're upgrading your buildings and construction materials to push the boundaries of what is possible. I've played this game a bunch, and it is honestly fantastic. It's kind of like Space Factorio with a bigger sort of management angle. I'm super excited to see more. This game has actually just successfully finished its Kickstarter campaign, so there's clearly appetite for a game like this. Hopefully, we'll have a release date real soon and be able to play this one. It's currently slated for release in Q3 of 2024, but we're going to have to wait until closer to the time for more information. Massive thanks to the developers of Prosperous Universe for sponsoring this video. If you're digging the games on this list, you may be interested in checking out this space management game. In Prosperous Universe, you're the CEO of your own space corp. Explore the galaxy, design spaceships, forge alliances, most importantly, produce, trade, transport, and profit. Build your business the way you want to, and contribute to a purely player-driven MMO economy in a persistent universe allowing for unique experiences, a multitude of playstyles, and no grind to speak of. Choose whether you become the richest CEO in the system, a respected political leader, a lone hermit farming a desolate planet, or an explorer scanning the fringes of the known universe. The choice is yours, and the opportunities are endless. There's a heavy emphasis on realism in everything from the economy to space travel, and there's more depth and complexity to the systems already in place being added all of the time. And the best news, you can get involved right now for free at the link in the description down below. Make sure to check out the link down in the description, and thanks again to the developers of Prosperous Universe for sponsoring this video. Sticking with the whole managing a space company theme, next up we've got Mars Horizon 2, The Search for Life. Of all the games on this list, this may be the one that I'm most excited for. This is a serious, non-Kerbal take on rocket building and space agency management. Your mission is to search for life. Search for evidence across the solar system to prove there's life on other planets. Explore different planets and moons, build your bases, launch rockets, design payloads, and plan missions. Lead the search for life across the solar system. Following on from Mars Horizon, where you were able to rewrite history, now you're going to be making history. Mars Horizon 2 is a game about exploration, learning, and discovery. And this means that you're making all the key decisions in mission control as humanity expands its sight for the stars. I can't wait for this one. There's just something super satisfying about watching rockets launch, which you've designed, set off for other planets. No release date for this one, but here's hoping it's soon. Intergalactic healthcare provided badly. In Galacticare, you build a hospital to cure a whole manner of aliens and bug-type creatures from a whole load of weird and wacky diseases and ailments. Design, furnish, and upgrade the hospital of your fever dreams in space. Hire the best doctors, make sure you've got all of the right machines to treat all your patients, because this one is set to be a banger. I really enjoyed the time that I spent with this one when I last played it, and it looks like there's going to be a pretty expansive campaign in addition to the usual sandbox mode, which I prefer to play on. Of course, in this space hospital, you've got to look towards 2 Point Hospital and the original theme hospital as inspiration. Now, is Galacticare going to be able to repeat the success of 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus? I'm not sure, but with any luck, we shouldn't have too long to wait, as this one is due to hit Steam in Q2 of 2024. I gave Solar Expanse a little go on the channel recently, and you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. I think the best way of classifying this one is that it's an interplanetary colony manager. You need to build and send payloads to all areas of the solar system to build outposts for further space exploration. This means you need to deal with reusable rockets and satellites for communications, and the machinery needed to resupply and refuel all the complex, expensive rockets that you're building. There's also a focus on orbital mechanics, which means you'll need to plot the best transfers and launches to suit your mission parameters. It's really rather cool. I very much enjoyed my time with this one. You can check out the video linked up in the top right-hand corner right now. No word on a release date yet, but stay tuned to the channel, as this is one that I'll absolutely be covering. Capital Command puts you in the captain's chair of a mega powerful capital spaceship. Manage your crew of engineers, gunners, and navigators to keep all systems running and keep the enemy at bay. There's a bunch of changes and modifications and upgrades that you can make to your equipment so you can defeat the bad guys. Capital Command will challenge you to think 2 steps ahead of your enemy. You'll be constantly outnumbered, and the use of clever battle tactics is essential to your survival. As captain of a capital ship, you're responsible for both a formidable weapon and the countless lives aboard. This game and a few others on this list are being published by Hooded Horse, which is a pretty good indication of quality in the strategy space. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this one moving forward. Capital Command is coming out at some point in 2024. Hostile Mars is a base building game where you have to defend against hordes of robot enemies. Build a darned big base and make sure you've built all the defenses you need to keep it safe, and explore the world for treasure and upgrades. I gave this one a look a while ago now, it must be said, and it's kind of like a sleeping banger. At least the demo was when I checked it out. There's a surprising amount of complexity to the whole game, a significant amount of resource management needed to ensure that you have an effective series of defenses. There's automation too, as you're able to use robots to create supply chains, to create more advanced tech and kit. I really wasn't expecting to like this game as much as I did, so I'd encourage you to have a look at my video in the top right-hand corner right now, and drop a wish list on the Steam page if indeed it is up your street. Unfortunately, still no word on a release date yet, but I'll be waiting and watching closely. Beyond These Stars is a city builder set on the back of a space whale. Building a city on the back of a sentient creature comes with its own set of challenges, but as you build your relationship and travel across the galaxy, you'll come across great opportunities for exploration and stable expansion. Meet other species, pursue the needs and wants of your peeps, and seek the truth about their ancestors and the space whales alike. This is the sequel to Before We Leave by the same developers, which followed a similar sort of formula of city building and trading. And I'm honestly really excited to see where this one goes, as I love space and I love city building, so what's not to love here? Building a city and building up a relationship with your space whale companion is a pretty cool premise, and I look forward to exploring it more whenever it comes out. No word on a specific release date quite yet. Falling Frontier is a management game crossed with a real-time strategy game. Your expeditionary force has just completed construction of its first spaceport in orbit of a new world, but you are not alone. Rivals from the old colonial wars between Earth, Titan, Venus, and other lineages that divide humankind have also arrived in the same star system. Explore a vast, procedurally generated star system filled with planets, moons, asteroid fields, and nebulas. Build and upgrade shipyards, supply depots, refineries, and recon stations as you research new technologies to unlock ship hulls, weapons, orbital facilities, colonization options, and much much more. Wars are won or lost through logistics, and a weaker opponent can choose to engage in guerrilla warfare, raiding supply depots and refineries, blockading colonies, and otherwise attacking each point in the enemy supply chain. Likewise, a stronger force cannot simply combine their ships into a single massive and unstoppable fleet, must instead accordingly and strategically distribute smaller defense flotillas throughout their territory. Loads to explore, and I cannot wait. This one is listed as coming soon, so unfortunately we'll be waiting a little while longer. Abyssals is an underwater city builder set on an inhospitable planet somewhere out in the great unknown of space. In the wake of Earth's devastation, humanity sent various expeditions to Abyss 62E, a newly discovered ocean-class planet and the only hospitable one within its reach. The objective of the Abyssal colonization project was to lay the foundations of a new human civilization. However, it quickly became apparent that this was not the underwater heaven we expected it to be. Build, survive, and make sure you've got everything lit up so evil creatures can't swim out of the abyss. A super interesting premise, as I'm sure you'll agree. Abyssals is listed as coming soon, so at this point, I've got no further information, but I'll absolutely be checking this one out whenever it releases. And last but not least, we've got Fragile Existence, which is a game all about trying to save humanity from its impending doom. Think Battlestar Galactica, but a management video game. As fleet commander of what remains, it falls on your shoulders to secure the future. There is no threat too great for humanity to overcome, and through grit and sheer force of will, you must lead your people to survive. Scout ahead and plot a course from system to system and to points of interest in between, exploring the world within as you seek resources essential to your survival. Each misstep can be expensive, and one wrong move can see you enveloped by the enemy. The non-linear story campaign begins amongst the rubble of the near-Earth territories, but leads you deep into the final frontier. Organize the fleet for optimal results. Do you seek strength in numbers, or separate into smaller autonomous groups pursuing different objectives? A smaller group is less likely to survive a direct assault, but their martyrdom could keep the rest of the flotilla alive for the future. There are multiple viable ways to tackle each scenario. The fate of humanity lies in your hands, so check back later in 2024, which is when this one is coming out. So that's it for my list of upcoming space-focused management games, and I gotta say, I think 2024 is already shaping up to be a great year for strategy games, and, you know, if half of these games end up releasing, then it's gonna be a pretty darn good year for space management games indeed. Anyway, yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be covering, in all probability, the vast majority of the games on this list. In fact, I've already made videos on some of them. Check out the links up in the top right-hand corner. Thank you ever so much to the developers of Prosperous Universe for sponsoring this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.